Hello there. Today I wanted to share a few things with you. One of the things is I found these pretty flowers at the Dollar Tree for $1, and they're just silver, shiny silver paper with the glittery flower on it and a little gem. And I thought I can make something like that, of course. So this is what I made. I didn't have a larger flower, but I did have circles, and so I cut out gold circles and then cut out some glitter paper flowers and put those on it, and then I put the little gem in the middle. Well, then of course I had the glitter paper left over, the negatives, and so I put those down on white cardstock and added the glitter gem, and then added a couple little words there. And the words I've gotten from my women's group at church. Then we get flyers each month in the mail, and so after I'm done reading it, then I go through and pull out what I want to keep, and then all the rest, then they're just little words like "come follow me" and "seek the blessings of God" and stuff like that. So it's like lots of fun to go through and see how many words I can pull out. So this one says, "Small and simple acts. My faith will be strengthened, spiritually prepared, good, commandments of God, sufficient for thee." And I love the way they came out. So now I've got, and I used the back of a butter box, the inside of a butter box, I should say, for my white cardstock. So, because I save all my white scraps. This is my white scrap box. I don't think I've shown this before on the video, but just from different packaging and cards and some coconut chicken packages. And what's this from? Oh, how'd that get in there? That shouldn't even be in there. Some little cards, envelopes, just anything white or off-white that I try to save and stick it in here. Even these bits and pieces that are on the top of packages. And I cut it off and then pull this part out, and there's a nice little cardstock in there. So yeah, and I've got some corrugated paper and cardboard in here, so that's kind of nice. So when I need some white cardstock, some just bits and pieces, then I can pull it out. So oops, there's a card front I can use. So I do that with whites and with blacks, because I'm always in need of black cardstock or black paper. So construction paper, when the kids are done using it, then I grab up whatever they've played around with. And I even had some dark purple netting, so I threw that in here. So, but these two I always keep right in my desk drawer, so that way I have those handy all the time. So these are all ready to be packaged up. So, and then I can put those in my embellishment box, because those are ready to go and to be used. So I'm very pleased with how those came out. The other thing I wanted to show you is I took the inside of an L.L. Bean catalog and on the inside, I've got another one right here too. But on the inside of the L.L. Bean catalog, I think this is the one that I took it out of. Then it had the order form. Yeah, I took it out. Had the order form. Whoops, I took that one out too. So, but it was just big enough to make a collage on. So I took it, and I've got a couple pieces left over here. Actually, 2 pieces left. That's all I've got left. So, and I just laid it down on my table. And when the grandkids were here yesterday, then whenever I would come upstairs and check on one of them while they were, because they like to come and sit at the top of the steps or on my bed to do their, it's not FaceTiming, Zoom, their Zoom meetings and Zoom classes, then I'll come in my room and sit at my desk, and I'll just glue some papers down to collage this whole sheet. So, and then when I was all done, then I cut it into these 4 pieces so that they would fit on card fronts. And then I just looked in my little fun box here of stuff that these are all ephemera. And so just all kinds of little bits and pieces of different types of things that I can use. And so I keep that handy right on my desk. So I pulled out the flowers and tore them out, laid down some baker's twine, put just one little scrap behind each one just to give it a little pop of color, added butterflies, and the butterflies were from, I believe the last video that I put on about making ephemera from the Dollar Tree cards. So, and then I dug out my little box of words here, and I pulled out appreciated, freedom, creative, and read a book, and added those on. So, and I really like the way they came out. They came out really pretty. Then I added a strip on the inside because it was a little bit too wide, so when I trimmed it down, then I just glued it on the inside. I like the way they came out. I think these are going to be a gift for somebody, so I'm not going to fill these out for the seniors. So I think I've got somebody in mind that I want to give those to, so that'll be nice little surprise, just to let her know that I'm thinking of her. Alrighty. Then the other thing I pulled out was, I had this card that I messed up when I put it all together and then started writing and totally messed up the inside. So I cut it off and then relined the back with a piece of white cardstock, so now I can start it again. So, and this was just a pocket that I have the die cut for, so I had cut that out, glued that down, and then little flowers. So glued those on, and then my little gems that I make out of perler beads and mount them in their little toaster oven. Added that on too. So that one's refixed and ready to go. So, and then I was working on these cards, where in a past video then I showed how I had these, I was making these in the video, these card fronts, and then just taping the pieces together and cutting it down to a card front size. So these are for some of my bigger scraps. And just made some card fronts. And then I lined them with black construction paper, so there's a slight border going around. And then I started this morning gluing them down on a card front. So that way all I have to do is just add a word or a verse or one of my embellishments to it when I'm ready to go. So, or they could actually be used like this too. So I have a couple of these left, so I figured maybe I could do that also while you're watching, just so you can have an idea of how I'm doing this. This tape here, this is kind of a funny little story. Here in Connecticut, then it gets pretty darn cold in the wintertime, and so rather than deal with the drafts coming in through the windows and the doorways, then we use the plastic, and we buy plastic window kits, and we cover our windows and the French doors with plastic. And this is the tape that actually comes in the kit, and it's double stick tape, but I don't like using it for the windows because it sticks really, really hard onto the window, and it doesn't come off until you have to let it sit there and get dry and brittle, and then it'll finally come off. So I really don't like using it on the windows. I prefer using the blue painter's tape. So, but so that this doesn't go to waste, then I bring it up to my stamping desk, and I play with it on my desk, using it for ideas like this. All right, now that was cut a little bit big. Ran over the edge a little bit here, so I'll have to tuck that in. Yeah, that's better. So, and then, I know my husband kind of laughs and shakes his head, but the painter's tape, then I do like to use it when I'm using my Sissics, my Cuttlebug, and my Sissics, because it holds the dies down for me. But sometimes it's too sticky, so I have to press it down on my jeans. And so before I use it. So now what I've been doing is reusing it after we stick it to the walls with the paper, with the plastic. Then I take an empty fruit cup container, a plastic empty fruit cup container, and then as I'm pulling the the plastic off the windows, then I'm salvaging the tape and I can reuse it. So, yep, so I can either reuse it on my, to hold my dies down, or I can use it to make my paper borders. So that way I'm using it a few different times. So look at the way that I've put this down, this double stick tape. I don't know if you've seen this or not. If you have, then wonderful. You probably like the idea and do the same thing. I hadn't seen it before until I watched a YouTube video, and this girl was doing this, and I thought, now that's really clever, because she does this and then folds up just the little corners, and then she can just lay it on her. She can lay her paper down and center it, and you can still maneuver it around, and then once you get it centered and placed on there where you want it, you just pull these little tabs off. How clever is that? And I've seen more people doing it since then. So I went back to see if I could find her video, but a lot of people are doing that. So I don't know if it's just new to me, but I figured, it was new to me, so it perhaps could be new to you too. So if so, then enjoy that neat little tip that I found on YouTube. I think that's really clever. I think that's really neat that we have this YouTube to access, because there's so many things that we can learn, and we all have our neat little tips and tricks that we do, and to be able to go online and find and share those type of things, I think it's wonderful that we have the capabilities to do that, and we can learn from each other. My grandkids are so cute. They came over yesterday for now that they're back to school, so what, full time. They go back to school Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then they do homeschooling on Wednesday so that the school can have a chance to clean the rooms for them. And so on Wednesdays, they get to come over here and do their homeschooling online. And at lunchtime, then we'll go out and we get the McDonald's and Burger King coupons. And so we'll get the family pack. It's like 3 Whoppers and 3 burgers and 3 fries for $12 or $12.99. And so we'll go and get that. And usually Papa's home too. So he'll get the 3 burgers, and then we'll each have a Whopper, and then they can all have the fries. But Papa wasn't here last time we got the coupon last month. And so last month we said, well, perhaps we'll see, someone, a homeless person, because there's usually homeless people around in that area where we go over there. And they were hoping to see someone, and we did. We saw a homeless man, and so we were able to share Papa's portion with this gentleman, and he was just absolutely delighted, because Riley, my granddaughter, got out of the car and ran over and said, hey, we got extra. We got a family meal, and we wanted to share with you. And he was just tickled to death. And so they were just elated about doing that. And then yesterday when they came over, then we have the coupon. We had another coupon to do the same thing. And so they were saying, oh, and Papa's not here again. I wonder if that man's going to be there, or maybe someone else. And so they were looking around yesterday to see if there was someone else, and there wasn't anybody over there. So they were kind of disappointed with that. But it really tickled my heart to let me, to know that they really enjoyed doing that so much last time that they were excited about hoping to get to do it again this month. So, but like I told them, you never know. Maybe they already had enough food, so they didn't have to come over. So we'll look for them next time we get the coupons. So now they're excited because we get to wait until the next time we get coupons so we can go back over and see if we can help somebody out again. So I really like the way these look. And it's funny how either just the black border or a brown border or a navy blue or the white, it just pulls it all together and it makes them look so pretty. And all these different scraps. It's funny, decorative paper, and this came from an envelope, and that came from a folder, and that came from a calendar, and that came from an envelope, and that came from an envelope. That's the inside of an envelope. And this is a picture. My daughter likes to do the adult coloring, so she saves the books for me. So, and that was some wrapping paper. Or no, that was in a book. That's right, that was in a little pamphlet book that I had gotten. And another folder. I love the way they look. I'm going to have three left. All right. So, well, I won't bore you, make you watch me do these last three, but I wanted to just get on here for a couple minutes and share what I've been making and what I've been playing around with, and share a couple ideas with you. So please remember to like and subscribe and share the video, and don't forget to ring that bell if you'd like to see future videos. Thank you very much, and until we meet again, happy crafting.